Hello, this is Mark Rockwell with Rockwell Farms Nursery, here again in our test garden to show you how to grow a good tomato plant, or at least how we do it. First of all, as our tomato plants grow, we take off the bottom limbs to where we have good aeration on the very bottom. The reason why we do that is so that when we water, we're not getting the leaves wet and there's good airflow at the bottom. Secondly, to grow a good tomato plant, we use a fine grade mulch. The reason why that's important is we mulch about 3 inches thick throughout our entire raised bed. And the reason why is because when you're growing tomatoes, you do not want it to go wet, dry, wet, dry. That's what causes that cat eye on top, okay? So the first thing that you do when you get your tomato plants, and actually the real tall ones are actually more likely the best ones. We had an early spring crop in here, and we had a late start on our tomato plants. All these were planted in late May, almost the first week of June. And they are loaded with tomato plants and they're looking just fabulous. So our plants, we were so late, our plants were like 18 inches tall. So what we did was we stripped all the limbs off, so we just had the top, and we planted all these tomato plants about 15 inches into the ground. And this is the result of it. Now, like I said, as they grow, and I probably need to do some trimming here on the bottom, but we keep the top 8 inches clean of any leaves or limbs. As the trunk grows, what we'll do is, you see up here, this right here in the elbow of the tomato plant, we pinch that off. So what that does, it forces your tomato plant to be more linear instead of bushy. If you do not pinch those off, you'll have a big bush, and it's very hard to spray for insects. It's hard to stick your hand in there to harvest. It really gives you, and it also gives you thick stems. You see these stems? They're like a ½ inch. Over here on our whopper, oh my, look how loaded it is of tomatoes. That's from using tomato tone every 2 weeks. So what I've told you is basically the best tips that I have for you as far as growing a successful tomato plant. Because we grew all kinds of varieties. We grew the Whopper, beefsteak, this is a mortgage lifter, cherry tomatoes, every variety, the top varieties that people want. And so this is the results of us. And of course, like I told you, we had a late start. And I am so thrilled at the way our plants look.